Hello.
Hey, Kenneth.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great. Thanks.
Good, good, good. Nice to see you. So, there's only what's appearing to happen. There's only energy. There is in that people who feel that they are separate, that they are people who have a life. So there's life, there's energy, and there's a sense that there's a separate me with my life. And it's a really felt feeling. It's a lived reality for the person. There's a lived feeling that there's a me in here and a world out there, and that world out there has to be negotiated and navigated and related to, and that's how people report that they experience life as a separate person who's moving through life in time and space, relating to other people who also have a life. They have a life, I have a life. And this is what's been indoctrinated into us from a very young age, that you are a person, you have a life, you have choices, you have to make something of the life you have. And the choices you make and the actions you take will dictate the life you have. And this is what we feel. We feel that if we do A, B, and C, we'll get to D. And it really feels that way. It really feels that there's something happening to me, and it's as a result of the effort I make. And what's being suggested here is very simple and ordinary, that actually that sense, that contracted energetic sense of feeling like a person, is artificial. It never was real. It's real in its appearance, if you want to put it that way. It feels absolutely real. It's everything is real and unreal, because everything is nothing and nothing is everything. And all the time you feel like a person in life who has a life. There's a yearning for wholeness. There's a yearning to not be this little me. And this suggestion here from nothing is that already you are not this little me. Already this is what is sought, because the sense of being separate was only ever a story. It was only ever an artificial contraction. So what's yearned for is nothing more or less than what appears to be happening. It's very simple. It's leaves stirring on a tree. It's a sensation in the body, sitting on a chair. A thought might arise, an emotion might arise. Sound is heard. Uh, Always, what's pouring through the senses is always only energy, nothing being everything. And there is no you that it's happening to, and there never has been. So there you go. Simple. So, questions seem to happen, and do ask anything related to the sense of what we're talking about here, the sense of being separate. Question is from nothing. The answer is from nothing. This is nobody's message. There's nothing to get. There's nothing to understand. But what's being suggested can resonate, and does resonate. It's an energetic resonance about the obvious. Hi, Michael.
Hello, good morning, Kenneth. Um, I noticed because I haven't been here for a while. As soon as you probably like 10, 20 seconds of listening to you talking, I I became much more relaxed, and yeah. So you didn't say anything that I haven't heard before,
Mm.
and yeah, it's just interesting that instantly I was trying to track it. It was a bit like a drain or a valve.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there can be energetically all sorts of um, reactions to this communication. It can be, as you just described there, that's what's appearing to happen.
yeah,
But there's no aim with this. There's no goal with this. This is not about a state of
yeah,
relaxed
yeah, yeah,
state or
yeah,
a any kind of state for that matter, or any kind of experience. The energy to this communication is boundless and unobtainable and unknowable and indescribable. It's absolutely stunning. It has nothing to do with Kenneth or anyone else, and it um, it 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 resonates as it resonates, and all sorts of apparent reactions come from it. It could be the direct opposite of what you described, that some apparent person could feel immediately contracted and tense on hearing this. And that's what would be happening. That's what would appear to be happening. It's amazing.
yeah. I'm just wondering. Part of me is curious if this is just like some sort of Pavlovian response.
I mean, you could, if you want to drill into it, you could extract all sorts of meaning and
Yeah,
significance to it,
yeah,
and it doesn't have
yeah.
any. It doesn't have any meaning or significance. Nothing does. That's what's being shared here. That everything is nothing and nothing is everything. There's only energy, and any sense that something has any kind of meaning or significance only comes from that sense of being a separate person who lays on meaning and significance to everything. If relaxation is appearing to happen, then that's what's appearing to happen. It's that simple,
Yeah,
actually. It doesn't mean
yeah,
anything. It doesn't. The person is the meaning maker, so they will always kind of interpret what appears to be happening and kind of invariably take it as a step towards something. So this is
yeah,
a sign that I'm. So the logical brain would say, when you started talking, it felt like this valve and this sense of relaxation. I think I'm
yeah.
getting what's being shared here. I think I'm closer to it in some way, and you're not closer to it in some way, and you never will be closer to it in some way, because to be closer to it, you have to be separate from it, and you're not separate. There is no separation. It's already the case that you are nothing being everything, which is unconditional love. It's very simple.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to the what's going on here. Like, see if I ask one of my decision questions, like,
Yeah.
um, what's better, Coke or Pepsi?
Mac or PC.
Yeah,
Because we can
like,
trace all the bad shit in your life back to that decision, can't we? About a year ago, you brought the wrong computer, didn't you? And
no,
that
it
was
wasn't. It was
everything went
less than a
downhill.
year. Well, it was actually because I got one that's actually quite heavy. It's not really
Yeah,
that. I mean, it's
yeah.
okay, but yeah, that was quite disappointing to be
It
honest.
was very
Um,
disappointing for everyone because everyone could see it was like watching a car crash. They knew you were going to make the wrong decision, but nobody could stop you. You made it,
it was,
and everything
it
has
was the
gone downhill
very
from there.
first.
Really, like
It
it's
was the
been
very first comment I made on this, and it really should have been a sign, to be honest. Uh, yeah. So, like, if you talked about the difference between Pepsi and cola, would it still have a resonance, or is it
um,
just
people probably didn't understand what we were saying there anyway. We'd probably just move on. Doesn't matter. So Pepsi and Cola. I mean, you see, that's why the words are significant, and they're also not significant at all. Like if I was to come and just talk about um, Pepsi and cola and whatever else that's on YouTube, cats and dogs and whatever, that's just what would be happening. But this communication goes directly to the heart of what's being sought by the apparent individual, and exposes the futility of looking for already what already is, and illuminates the artificial nature of the self. So there's certain words that are used about that, but beyond all of that, it is an energy. It's totally energetic. So it's because none of that can be actually described, but the words that are used can point towards it. So if I was talking about Coca-Cola and Pepsi and blah blah blah, it would just be what it would be, but it wouldn't in any way illuminate the apparent dilemma for the person. So this is always coming back to, and always about, the sense of being a person who is searching for something in life. There's a presumption that we can accept that something is being yearned for and looked for, and from that point we can say what's been suggested is that you're not actually looking for anything. It's not a state, it's not an experience, it's not any material wealth, or it's actually what's being yearned for is simply already just what's appearing to happen, which is nothing being everything. And that, if you want to put it another way, it's not that you are going to get something, it's that there's an apparent loss of this separate sense of you. And that can be seen, and when that's seen, it's very, very obvious that it was always the case. And this is simply a sharing about that, without agenda or goal, that is heard as it's heard.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hi.
Hi. The energetic resonance you were talking about, is that an appearance?
Everything is an appearance, yeah. Everything is nothing, and nothing is everything. So the energetic, the resonance is just what appears to happen. The word is just used to show that it's not a concept what's being shared. It's not an understanding or knowing. It's a resonance of something being a certain way, certain natural reality. It's not a intellectual knowing. Like, this can be engaged with on a conceptual level, and it is often done so. Like, there's many people who love this area and enjoy this area and love to conceptually talk about it, talk about how there can't be separation, talk about this thing called non-duality. That's fine, that's okay, that's just what appears to happen, but that's of no significance at all, because really it's just somebody who understands something, or somebody who knows they're not there, or somebody knows there's no separation. It's when this is shared, there's a resonance to it, that when it resonates, it can be very, very obvious, very, 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 very obvious about what's being suggested. And it's shockingly obvious, it's shockingly ordinary, it's frequently people are just stunned by the obviousness of it. It's just, oh my God, like what you're sharing is so, I can't say it, but it's just so obvious. There's just what's appearing to happen. It's inexpressible. I can't say it, but yet when people hear it's inexpressible, they think it's somehow, very complex and maybe esoteric and difficult. But it's not that. It's not in that way. It appears to hide by already being everything. So what's yearned for by the person it has always been the case. It's always been just aliveness. It's always been just, and that can be the hilarious shock of it. It's just, okay, it's just, it's breathing. It's simply breathing. It's all, and I've been running around in a circle for years, doing mantras and attending to my chakras, and doing all of this kind of stuff, and all it's been is simply just whatever's appearing to be. It's inescapable, actually. What's yearned for is it's unknowable, ungraspable, and completely and utterly inescapable, because it's all already, all there is wholeness. There's no sense here of talking to separate people, because there are no separate people. There's no Zoom meeting. Even if we were in a real room and this was a meeting and we were all, it still would be the very same. There would be no sense here of speaking to individual people, because there are no individual people. There's just energy. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do resonate. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. So a question, so there, okay, sorry, I'm trouble reading these. Is the resonance stronger in person? I can't say that it is really, actually. I think that there's a little bit of a different quality in meeting in person. It's preferable to meet in person, in a group in person. There's a certain energy to a group of people meeting. There's a certain energy that is invariably kind of lost over a Zoom meeting, because it tends to be, a Zoom is kind of, everyone is connecting to the Zoom but still kind of in their little bubble. But I'm surprised how it does resonate still, though, over, I didn't think it would as much. So that surprised me when all of this kind of happened. Moved to Zoom meetings, and it's frequently get emails from people about how it resonates, and how either through having attended a Zoom or watching it on YouTube. So that's really interesting, actually. So there's no rules with this. There's no kind of, I can't say it's better per se, but like, there you go. It's like watching a film in your it's like watching a film in the comfort of your sitting room, and maybe going to the front seat of a very, very good play and watching a play. I mean, in one way it could be, the play could be exactly what was seen in the film, but in one way the other is more effervescent and alive, isn't it? But there you go. There's no rules to this. This can when it resonates, it just resonates, whether it's through a YouTube video or in person. There's absolutely no telling. It's amazing. It's absolutely stunning how it just resonates. There's no telling how it will resonate, if it will resonate. It's amazing. Is the sense of I am. So this sense of I am is just a sensation in the body, just like a sound that is heard or a sight that is seen. But this has been taken to imply a me by being taken ownership of. Yeah, so the sense of being separate, it's all I can do is try to describe it, and it's speaking very general, in a very general way about it. But I always tend to describe it like a contraction in the body. It's not just an idea that I'm a person, or a concept that I'm a person. There's a very much a sense of really being inside here and looking out on a world that's outside of me. And then that's that subject. You'll often hear me talk about that subject object reality, and other people as well. That sense of you are the subject, and everything, if you're a subject, everything is an object. Everything is an object. A tree, a bird, a car, a person, everything is an object, actually. Although a person would not be perceived of as being an object like a car, because one is an inanimate object and one is a human being, but they're actually all objects to the subject, and they're not seen as they naturally are from that subject-object perception. And so when there's that contracted sense of being a self, then anything that arises there's an addition of me to it. So there's if there is a sound, then it's me hearing the sound. If I'm looking out a window and there's a tree, so then it would be that's a tree over there that I'm seeing, an object called a tree, where actually it's just life treeing. It's not a separate object at all, and there are no other separate objects, and the sound is not my sound. I'm not hearing the sound. It's just sound. It's that simple, actually, that the person is like a filter through which, or a veil, a filter which all the senses pour through. So I'm hearing, I'm seeing, I'm sitting, me, and this goes completely unquestioned, really, for the most part. A sense that I can hear the sound, I can see, I'm sitting on the chair, whatever it is. And it's just something that appears to happen. It's something that appears to happen, and there's nothing that can be said here that can in any way influence it. And it's only seen from here as being an appearance. It's not actually real. Hi, Victoria.
Hi. You look so sad. Maybe William missing or something.
No.
Sorry.
You tend to worry about me, don't you?
Always what to do.
Always worried about me.
Yeah.
Poor Kenneth. He looks sad. Hi, Mika.
Hi, I can see books about music, and in your books, what would you say that how music connects with this field?
Oh, music is life, and life is music. Music is everything and nothing. It is literally a vibration of life. It's indescribable and unknowable, and there's a delight in music here. There's nobody who makes music. It's obviously there never was a whatever your favorite musician is, or whoever. I can't even think of someone off the top of my head. A Bob Dylan. There never was a Bob Dylan. There's just songs and music that appears, and then it resonates with people. So some is muck to someone, and then the same song to someone else brings them somewhere, or does something that they can't quite describe. It's there and not there too. Music is there and not there. If you really see, a musical note is, in the perception of the listener, it starts and then it finishes, but actually I would say it's actually there and not there simultaneously.
How did this liberation change your relationship with music?
It didn't
Are
really.
you better musician?
No,
Are you
I
better
don't.
musician now?
No, I don't consider myself a musician anyway. I enjoy music. That's all. There's a delight in music. I'm not a better anything. Really, there's just music, and that's it. There's no goal with music. There's no where to get to with music. There's just music for music, and that's what appears to happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Kenneth. So, how did the conversations with Frank, did they change for you two guys?
My conversations with who?
With Frank?
With
I don't
Frank.
know. Yes, he's your friend, and finally this sense of separation has apparently fallen away in him too, and he has been so long your friend and such a earnest seeker, and now did it change something?
No, nothing changed at all. No.
So the
Because
conversation.
you have to remember that there are no separate people already.
Oh yeah.
So nothing changed. There's just friendship appears to happen, and whatever is said. It's more like people think that something happens to somebody and then they're somehow different. It's not. It's that there already is nobody. There's just what appears to happen, and then people report themselves that they are seeking, and they feel that they're still a person, and then one day they may stop reporting that there's something to get, and then there's just the same. It's always the same.
The same whatever happens.
Yeah, there may be energetically there may be a slight difference if the sense of yearning was very strong, and the sense of trying to get somewhere was very strong, because that kind of, there's a sense of ease that comes because there's nowhere to get to. But really, I mean, we are talking about something that's an appearance. That's the cruel thing about this is nothing happens to anybody because there already is nobody. There's already just what's appearing to happen, and that sense of our sense of being a person is artificial. Frank's speaking. I think Frank is speaking on Thursday. Yeah, so
yeah. Woohoo.
check it out.
Yeah.
Thursday evening. Yeah, so that'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. A beautiful invitation into unknowing.
Yeah, I love the term unknowing. I thought it was lovely.
Yes.
I think, but there's a certain flavor to everybody, and there's a certain flavor. Obviously, he's my friend. I enjoy Frank, and I like the communication. So I would see what appears to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and there is something I feel as if there is like something, a blind spot. It feels a bit as if a blind spot is happening, and there is this wonder whether this. I know that there's no one to do anything, but it's like right. I cannot do anything, right? This is like even the blind spot is already happening.
Yeah, it's not even that you can't do anything. It's what's been said is you're not there.
Yeah.
So there's no you that can do anything, and no you that can't do anything. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the person feels, oh, so I can't do anything. There's nothing I can't do anything. It's not that that you can't do anything. It's that there's no you there.
Yeah.
So obviously, if there's no you there, there's nothing that can be done, or there's nothing to be done. There's literally there's just what's appearing to happen. That's all there ever is. There's no, that sense that there's a you there who can do something or not do something is an artificial sense of separation.
And has there always to happen an awareness of what's happening? No, right? This is like...
Yeah, so that's the person feels there has to be an awareness of what's happening, because the person has a sense of awareness. There's a sense of being a person who's aware of something happening to them. That sense of awareness and consciousness is just an aspect of separation. It means nothing at all. So no significance at all. And it's all that awareness is just a feature of separation. But for the person, it feels like it's the key to something, that if I'm aware of that tree out there, and I'm aware that there's that tree isn't a separate tree, it's just life treeing, then maybe this sense of me will drop away, or blah blah blah. And the awareness is completely irrelevant. It's an artificial knowing. That's all it is.
Oh, I love this clarity speaking there. It's
yeah, it's stunning. It's nothing to do with me. There's no me. It's nothing to do with Kenneth. It's just a boundless communication that is. It's stunning. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
You too, Laura. Thanks. Hi, Thomas.
Kenneth, how you going?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Just oh, we're good. We're good.
Well, thank you.
How have you been?
Good. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I was just as everyone's questions were coming up, a question was bubbling up to the surface here. Maybe even more of a statement. It kind of feels now that that this whole nothing to get is not just a concept that I'm trying to fit life into, where it just feels now that there is nothing to get. And now, because there's no one trying to get anything, life is naturally kind of speeding up in this kind of appearance here. And what comes to mind is this idea that as the person drops away, the character has more openness to it. And that's what's kind of appearing here, just an openness to everything that's happening. Is that something that, is common?
Oh, yeah, it's complete openness, because that there's nothing to protect anymore. Like, as a person, there's always a sense of having to protect yourself against what's going on. So what's appearing to happen is either of advantage to me or is dangerous to me. So the person lives in that kind of reality of continually judging judging every situation and every person as a sense of, well, you're either one or the other, kind of. So I'll either pull you in or push you away. And then when there's no sense of being a person and there's just what's appearing to happen, it's total openness. It's not me that's being open, but everything is unconditional love. So it can't get much more open than that. And everything that appears to happen is unconditional love, whether it's extremely pleasurable or extremely painful. So, I mean, it's indescribable. It's just an in loveness with what is and isn't. And it's complete vulnerability. Like people talk about, like, Brené Brown is a really lovely speaker. She's very, very well spoken. She's very popular now, and she speaks about vulnerability, and it's very logical what she's saying. She did a lot of studies on people who felt more alive because they were willing to feel vulnerable. It's kind of a little bit tied in with what we're saying. And then what's being shared here is that's kind of, I totally see what she means, and it's logical, and it makes sense. and it is a lived reality for people who feel more open and they feel more alive. But actually what's suggested here is that it's not about being more vulnerable or being you being more open. It's actually beneath that there is no you, there is no separate you, and that's completely blows the whole thing apart. And everything is that vulnerability, then that sense of being vulnerable is also blown apart, because that sense of vulnerability was kind of that contracted sense of being a person kind of opening up a little to allow for feelings of nervousness, feelings of any kind of feeling that arises. Okay, that's also it. So that's how that energetically that person felt more alive. When there's no sense of being a person, there is full on aliveness for no one. It's completely full on. Anything can appear to happen. It's full on aliveness. Everything is it's indescribable, but there's nowhere to, but there's no sense of being able to buffer anything, because the person is kind of the buffer, really. So they really, when there's pain and it's your pain, it's got a different quality, and when it's joy and it's your joy, it's got a different quality, and it's not actually fully felt, because there's this sense of it being yours. And there in that then is the dissatisfaction. There's it's very dissatisfying, and that's the person goes around feeling this sense of dissatisfaction, and they don't know what it's about, and they think it's about, logically they think it's about getting something, getting another state of mind, getting another experience, getting blah blah blah, and it's actually not about getting anything. It's about a loss of this sense of being a person.
Yeah, but you don't lose when I was a seeker, thought this state of complete empty mind was the ultimate kind of place you want to be.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just about to say, that actually it's an apparent loss. So nothing is actually lost. It's because what was there as a person is artificial anyway. So it's simply just already what's appearing to happen. What's yearned for is always only just what's appearing to happen, which is shocking in one way to the person. It can't just be this. It has to be, because the person always lives in a sense that it's something better around the next corner. It has to be something other than this, and this, as it actually is, can't be seen.
And it's sinking slowly. Like I feel like that is sinking in a way. And as I was saying, like the seeking energies, and we talk about this, like the seeking energies slow down, like the steam's out of that engine of personal identity. Like I can't say that everything's dropped away. I could never speak on the topic and say it. But it just feels like I'm not looking for a state. And in that sense, everything's opening up in these beautiful ways. And it's not free of anxiety. It's not free of stress.
No, it's not. It doesn't have to be, no. And I say it doesn't have to be anyway, really. It's not describable. There's just whatever appears to happen, and actually nothing even happens. So it's very common for someone to report that I can't say that this big boom happened and that I fell away and all of that. It just seems that there's just everything is the same, but yet everything is indescribably different. It's exactly the same as it was before, and it's somehow different. And that's that sense of me can just not be there. Boom, it just isn't there. And then some people say there is that, and then there's that sense of me appears to come back or kind of come in and out. Maybe that can kind of appear to happen too. There's no rules with this. There's no kind of, you can't set this up and say, well, this is what happens, boom, 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 because actually nothing even happens.
Yeah.
It's just, and it just can resonate. What's being shared can just resonate, and it's obvious that there's just what's appearing to happen, but it's not. You will never be able to describe it, just as I can't.
But obviously, you talk about it in a way that seems so clear, and every time I hear you talk about it, it just brings it into that sharper clarity.
Yeah, and
So
but that comes from nothing. That is nothing to do with me, or no, that is no kind of knowing at all. It is no kind of knowing. It's no kind of sense that I have something and know something, and that's actually the boundlessness is from that it's just it's from nothing. There appears to be a question, and boom, there appears to be an answer.
I feel like that happens in my work. So maybe similar to you. Like I just feel like there's answers coming that I never knew I had, even in a mental construct. They're just coming forth, and they're answering a lot of questions and solving a lot of problems in productive ways. And I'm just kind of just surprised that it's coming from that place, but it doesn't come in the same clarity with the message. Maybe that doesn't
matter. That's of no significance at all. Yeah, it just can be quite obvious that there is no body, and there never has been. So even as you just described there in work, there can be just answers, and then you're kind of going, well, where did that come from? Like, I mean, I don't think and then it can just be very, very obvious. It came from nothing, because all there is nothing. There is no you who had anything. You never even were there to have anything. Nobody has answers, actually, but what can happen is a question comes and then an answer comes, and the person feels that's my answer to your question. And this is the whole kind of lived reality for the apparent person of, you're a person who asked a question, I'm a person who gave an answer. This is what's happening. This is really happening. And that's all a story. It's all a story.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Someone's asking for the link for Frank's meeting. So I just found his email there. So I'm going to, in the chat, I'm going to put the link to his Zoom meeting on Thursday. So I just put it in there for everyone. It's Thursday at, let me see now, Thursday the 4th at 5 p.m. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. to 6:30 GMT. So we went back an hour, obviously, on Sunday. Oh no, I sent that directly to someone. Anu. Try again. There we go. Hi, Michael.
Hello, Kenneth. So I've been trying this thing that a lot of people are talking about, bringing awareness from the pelvic bowl.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It does actually seem to make a difference.
Sure it does.
To experience.
Okay, to experience.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else there. Yeah.
No, it's not that kind of show.
Like, I mean, there are all sorts of things that bring a difference to experience, and that's not what this is about. So there's all sorts of, Like if this was about an experience, there's just endless amounts of things the person can do to have a different outlook or a different experience. I mean, it's kind of, I feel in one way it's moved on from the spiritual stuff a lot. A lot of people have kind of moved on from that to more psychotherapy kind of experiential things, psychedelics, cold water, Wim Hof, given kind of pushing out of their comfort zones and having different experiences. There's loads of different other things, fasting, different types of exercise. That's fine, right? That's not what's being shared here. Is not about an experience. You could do all of these things, like a quick Google search, and you'd find ways that would radically experientially shift your experience out of some sort of pattern, and that would have a certain energy to it that would feel energetically like, wow, it's amazing. I was such a lazy fucker, and now I'm doing like I'm doing these long 100k cycles with my friends, and it's changed my life, and it's amazing. And yeah, that's fine. That's what appeared to happen. But this is not about experience. This is not about any kind of experience that the person can have, because all of that is still somebody who has an experience or a perception, and there's nothing right or wrong with that. That's just something that appears to happen. This is a suggestion that there is no separate person. There never has been, and there's just what appears to happen. So that is absolutely not an experience. The person is the one who has the experiences. In the same way as you could be saying states, I usually say it's not about states or experiences, because the person kind of hears this and feels it's like a state of oneness. You're in some sort of state of oneness, and I want to be in that state of oneness. And last Tuesday, at 10 o'clock, I was in this state of oneness, and I want to get that back. That's not what this is. It's not a state the person is in. These are just more experiences the person has.
I'm just wondering though, like, it feels like to me these shifts in perception create an openness.
Yeah, that's what feels like to you. Then that's what's appearing to happen there. There's a sense of being more open, and that's just what's appearing to happen there. That is of no relevance or significance.
Even to the resonance?
Of course not. No, there's just what's appearing to happen. This is very, very ordinary. There's just what's appearing to happen. If it was to do with states or experiences, it's the person that has them.
Yeah.
This is inescapable. This is inescapable, ungraspable, unknowable, simple aliveness, whatever appears to be happening. That's all there is, and that energy is nothing being everything. Thanks. Hi, Dario.
Hello. I was wondering, your microphone, is it you speak on the top? Is it a large membrane microphone?
It's you can speak at any angle. It's just one of those condensers.
Okay, okay. I was just wondering because you speak from the top, and it seems like the membrane's on the side, but
yeah, no, you can do it from any angle. Okay. Yeah. But if there's a way to do it wrong, I'm probably doing it wrong somehow.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to check.
Yeah, I'm not very good with these things, but it's a nice microphone.
Yeah, it looks nice. Apparently. Thank you.
Thanks. So the question is, there seems to be two parts to a decision, to do this or that, to buy this computer or that computer, and in the middle of a decision there is a existing choice. So there, for the person, there is a choice between this computer and that, between going here and going there, between doing this and doing that. It appears to be that way. And for the person, that's an absolute reality, that I'm a separate person and that I am doing my life. So I'm making this choice over this choice, and the consequences will be different, and so on. And what's been shared is that all of that is an appearance. So that all that choice, all of that is just a story. It's all a story. There's only just aliveness. There's only inescapable aliveness, which is nothing being everything. And the sense that you are there making choices and it's your life is artificial. That can be very obvious or not. Hi, Dario.
No, I have an extra question. After the apparent dropping, falling away, are there still spiritual states happening to no one?
No. Spiritual states, there's no states at all. Not to mind spiritual. Spirituality is something that the person does. There is no spiritual
energy.
It's something that the apparent individual does to feed the sense of separation. Spirituality is perfect. It really feeds that sense of separation, because it's completely bottomless and boundless, the lengths the person can go to approach a thing called enlightenment, ultimate knowing, oneness, all of this stuff. And it just continually feeds that sense that there's someone who's separate to wholeness that can do something to find wholeness. And so the apparent individual absolutely loves it. It loves it. It loves spiritual communications. If it resonates with them, I mean, obviously some people think it's a load of bullshit and they keep away. They'd rather make a load of money. But the interesting thing is, the person who's on the spiritual path has this lovely, endearing arrogance that they're somehow more noble and better than the person who's just trying to make a lot of money. And actually, it's all the same thing. It's all the same energy. It doesn't matter.
I recently saw it so clearly. There was this guru who already meditated for eons, and he has followers. And then he posted on Facebook, like, now I met Shiva, and he appeared to me, and it was real. And now there's this new teaching appearing, and
what a bunch of horseshit! Like, and when it's obvious, it's obvious, and when it isn't, it isn't. And people get sucked into that, and they really feel that there's this special, not special, and this person has access to something, and this whole kind of loop gets set up of teacher-student. You know, I can see that you are yearning for something. I can show you the way. It can be very seductive. Although it sounds like I speak about it in negative terms, it's actually not negative or positive. It's just what appears to happen. Doesn't mean anything. And it's very, it's also very understandable, because the person has a huge sense of, unworthiness. And that unworthiness is tapped into, and that sense of, I can see you feel unworthy. I can show you the way to wholeness. There is no way to wholeness, because there already is no separation, and there's already just wholeness. There's already just everything being nothing. It's very, very simple. What appears to hide by already being everything. It's absolutely amazing. There's already no separate people, and never has been. But what appears to happen is an energetic sense that I am a person, I have a life, this is really happening to me. There is a future, there is a past, and there's that lived reality then, until there isn't. Either at physical death or before physical death.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Anisha.
Hi. So everything is wholeness. So being angry about cheating is also wholeness.
Anger is what appears to happen. Yeah. There's only what appears to happen. There's only energy. So if that is something that's positive, that's what's appearing to happen. If it's something that appears negative, that's what's appearing to happen. If
I don't know if it's positive or negative, but it's happening.
yeah, anger is happening, then that's what's appearing to happen. There's nothing that isn't it. So if anger is appearing to happen, then that's energy.
And it doesn't has any negative,
It doesn't.
negative
It's not.
effect.
It's just. It's a story. It's just what appears to happen. It's just energy. That's it. It doesn't have any meaning or significance or. But for the person, if it's your anger, then it has all sorts of stuff. It has all sorts of meaning. It is, it shouldn't be. I shouldn't be angry, or I should be more angry, or I should be less angry. Or once there's a sense that it's your anger, it has a different quality to it. When there's no sense of being a you and there's anger, then boom, that's what's appearing to happen, anger. And that's what's appearing to happen till it isn't what's appearing to happen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thanks so much. I'm going to finish up. I have a link. I'll just try and put it in again. For people who wish to contribute, and it's much appreciated. I used to get back to people, but for some reason PayPal doesn't have emails anymore. So it's much appreciated, and there's the link to PayPal. It's in the top and it's the bottom one. And also if you look in the chat, as I said, there's that link to Frank's meeting Thursday. I'll take one more question then. iPhone van. Did you want to ask something? You'd have to unmute yourself. Not happening.
Sorry, I was wrong, Kenneth. Do you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm very happy to. I was wrong. I didn't meant to put out my hands, but
okay,
I
no
thank
problem.
you. I thank you.
Okay.
I'm happy to know you. And I enjoy your
happy
speaking.
to. No, it's beautiful. It's an amazing communication. It's nobody's, and what's looked for, what's yearned for, is simply just what appears to be happening. It's inescapable. There's nothing but wholeness already. There's no non-duality. There's no Zoom meeting. It's very simple.
Yeah. now you speak directly to me.
Yeah.
It's felt deeper now even.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I hadn't had Zoom meetings for a while. I was away, and then I'd also forgotten it was Halloween on Sunday, so trick-or-treating and stuff like that, and I wasn't possible to squeeze it in. So I think we're back on track again. So, but who knows? Free fall. But there should be one on Sunday again, and again on Wednesday, and so on. Okay, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye bye.